It's his sacred cow. She's perfect. Don't dare talk about her. No. No.
Such a dork. Hello, sister friends. Welcome to Tuesday night. It is good to be here. We have an opportunity to discuss not new information provided by TLC. I was going to say another new episode, and then my tongue wouldn't allow me to do it because it was a lie. I cannot tell a lie. It's like that Liar, Liar movie. I have not seen that since it came out. I do not remember much of it, but I do know every now and then I put some clips on my videos from it. All right. I am here, complete with Puddle Monkey and Moo Cow. I came up here and I didn't have them when I did my recording for my reaction video because on Sunday night it was so hot in my house. I streamed from downstairs. And I had Puddle Monkey Moo Cow with me, thinking I just might need them. Sacred cow, I guess I should say. She's Moo's sacred cow. Wait, somebody said something today. Oh, it might be on my laptop. Let me see if it's on here. There was a new title that somebody gave her. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's what we should say. Nope, that's not it. I may not have had my laptop open at the same time. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think it's on my phone. So let me start saying hello to people, and I will look because I think I was responding to some people and liking things. Oh, here it is. It's the herpes heifer. Oh, wait, no. This is going to go under funny things, but it never got onto my laptop. So we'll do it right at the top of the show. Miss Ohm, Vixen, and Old Spirit Art all together contributed that it went from the herpes heifer that says moo to sacred herpes heifer. It's a sacred herpes heifer. My brain is just going to remember Moo Cow because I'm pretty simple. But I will try to write that down somewhere, stick it somewhere. The sacred herpes heifer. It's kind of hard to say. It's a tongue twister. Who knew? We created our own little tongue twister. Oh, goodness. All right. Let me go back here. Say hello to some people. Somebody pointed out to me again today, which, I mean, it is about the 50th time they've said it. But when I say hi to everybody, I sound like Romper Room. I'm like, I know. Shoot, I was going to get my little magnifying glass thing too. I was in that box the other day looking for something as well. I'm pretty sure I looked while I was online here once because I used to have this magnifying glass that I would use with my kids and look at them to see if they're doing their stuff right. I mean, it just distorted everything, but it was a fun tool. And I believe I got rid of it. I tried to get rid of most of the stuff I used with my little kids because I just do speech therapy with the older kids now. Okay. Back to the beginning. Our first one that shows up since I logged in anyway at 6:38 is Mama Squirrel. Hello. Nicole Aggie. Hello. Good to see you. All right. I don't think I've seen you in a while, Nicole. Have I? Lynn Skinner. Thank you for being here. Thank you for moderating, being the rock star moderator that you are. Lynn Skinner not only moderates, makes sure that we get rid of the riffraff here, but she participates. And she's hysterical oftentimes when I do the funny things that made me laugh. I'll notice one of the three will be Lynn's. I have a good group of sister friends, that's for sure. That came up in my video today, actually. I was just editing that earlier where I was like, why do I do this? Why? And then I'm like, because of the sisterhood of sister friends that we have. That's why. It's all about us now. It's all about us because on our own, and I get it. And I even did a plea out to TLC, although I didn't explain it when I was editing. I'm like, I didn't make that very clear. which is a common thing in my videos because I just talk off the cuff. Get myself in trouble at times, but it happens. I said to TLC that, what was it exactly? That I was getting messages, comments on my videos that people aren't watching the show anymore because they're over it and it's too frustrating. But the second part of that is always, but they're still watching my channel. So they're still getting the information. So see, I'm taking money right out of TLC's pocket. And after this last episode, I am proud of it and I am happy about it because I feel like nobody needs to suffer through this if they don't want to. And I will be here for you and I will recap it thoroughly. I mean, I realized I did a 4-hour video yesterday that I got to whittle down for a review for you guys. I talk too much. It's like a live stream here at night. I just start going. Before I know it, I'm in the middle of a story completely unrelated to anything. And I'm like, what am I doing? There's not even anybody here looking at me or talking to me. I'm a little crazy. Okay, who else is here? Kathy Ferrand is here. Hi, Kathy. Good to catch you before you have to go to baseball. LaShonda's here. Hello, LaShonda. Good to see you again. Okay. Elizabeth Murphy's here. It's full of regulars here at the beginning. I hope I didn't skip anybody. I'm trying to get through the ones, the conversations that are happy. Lunty's here. Hi, Lunty. Good to see you. I did see that, Lunty. I did see a thumbnail for that. Was she being honest? Because that was pretty hard in my review on her. Be nice to have. Although, again, it's pretty hard in the review because I'm reviewing to what I see. In fairness, this was recorded in October. It's almost like I forgot about it by the 4th installment of the same information over and over again. Like, I just feel like I've been in a roundabout for the past month. Just listening to the same questions, listening to the same answers, not getting anywhere. New driver in a roundabout, I should say. Stuck in a roundabout. There you go. I've been stuck in a roundabout. That's what it feels like watching these one-on-ones. Okay, let me know if you feel the same. Maybe I'm being really hard and everyone's like, they were great. And I like them. I mean, I have fun on Sunday nights watching them, even though I'm frustrated. Like, it's kind of fun to be frustrated watching it. But going back and watching it again and doing a reaction video really hammers home to me how little they said. And you know what is pathetic about it now that I think about it? How low my expectations are. I feel like I'm a sister wife. That's it. I am a sister wife in this relationship. My husband is TLC. Or is it Puddle Monkey? I don't know how much TLC has to do with this. I think it's Puddle Monkey. This hairy thing is my man. Oh, and I feel like I'm abused. I feel like my words have no carry, no weight. I feel like no one's listening to me. Oh my gosh, I am in a polygamous relationship. We all are. We are all sister friends. We are sister wives. We just upgraded. It's official. Puddle Monkey, King Monkey. Oh, I don't think King Monkey's around anymore, but we'll still call him King Monkey. No, King Gibbons. That's what we called him, King Gibbons, because his last name was Gibbons. But I don't think I think the other guy, Chris something. I should look up his name. I didn't look it up the whole beginning of the season because I thought they were doing an okay job, given the circumstances as well, that they probably had to scrap a ton of material that involved Garrison and take it out of the season. Because you know that there were a lot of going back and forth between Garrison and Cody, or at least a lot of conversations with Garrison and his siblings or Janelle, sadly. Anyway, all right. I don't want to bring us down. I'm going to start saying hello to everyone else, and then we can get back to our polygamous relationship that we're all in together. All right. LaShonda Lynn Lundy. Okay, here I said hello to all of you. Chit-chatting away. Nicole Aggie. Yes. You guys were in here early chatting away. Here we go. Stephanie Nelson then joined in. Hello. There's LaShonda going to town. I see a drink. Oh, is that the drinking words? Let me go back and take a peek. What did we have on Sunday night? We had experience. We got J-Lu hammered. She wasn't contributing by the end of the live stream. No, I'm just kidding. I was giving her a hard time too. It's not true. Oh, goodness. I only work on people who can't talk back. That's funny. Linda's a, medical examiner. There you go. I was going to say mortician, but I'm like, no, that's not what you do. You're the one that actually cuts it up and does all the diagnostic stuff. I wanted to be a medical examiner for like 2 minutes. It sounds really cool. And I don't really like blood. Like, I don't like seeing people get cut when they are awake. Like, if they're asleep, I could probably be a surgeon, but I don't like inflicting pain. I was going to be a physical therapist instead of a speech therapist. And then I found out they inflict pain in people, and I'm like, well, I can't do that. So then I was going to do OT. And then somebody told me it's like wishy-washy whether it's painful. So I went into speech. Oh, goodness. Before all that, I wanted to be a nurse growing up my whole life. I mean, I have the desire to do it, but like, I'm too squeamish. I don't know. Why was I born with the desire to do it, but the inability to follow through? Unsure. Okay. I can step up to the plate if I have to. That's for sure. I was there with any kind of wound or anything with any of the kids. All right. I'm sorry. Look at me. See, I told you yesterday. I thought I got it all out. Jennifer Harmon. Hello. Joni C is here. Hello, Joni. Joni, were you the one? Now that I'm thinking about it, now I'm getting confused with my J names. I don't know if it was J-Lu or Joni who we were drinking under the table because he said experience so many times. We had like 2 or 3 drinking words. Oh, goodness. What can you do? Okay. Amy D, hello. Want a pizza me? Hey there. Thank you for hitting the like button too. I appreciate it. Kathy, real good point, Kathy. Cody was not driving 5 hours each way on a weekend to get church kisses. She's such a liar. Hi, Shannon Banana. It's good to see you. Stacy, did I say hello? I'm not sure. It's going to start blending in with previous nights. Sochitel, hello. Good to see you. Hi, Peach. Hello, YouTube is my time machine. And Tracy's Fractured History. Sherry from Canada. Here we go. Vixen, Little Miss. We're getting into the time the show started now, so all the different people jumped in. Motherhood is Ministry. Crystal Langford. Evelyn. Sierra Gonzalez. Nicole Aggie, did I say hi? I don't think I did. Hello, Nicole. I saw Vixen. I saw Lynn. Saw LaShonda. Mary's here. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. And Knit My Bit. Hi, Knit My Bit. Twyla's here. All right. Did anyone else catch Janelle saying the word safe coming into the family with Robin? I did not. Did she use it much? I just don't remember her using it. She may have used it once or twice. Robin cloned it. I really think that was a great line that Janelle had when she's like, Robin brought that to our family. Like it was another disease added to the herpes. She brought the herpes and the safeties. And the victimies. All right. Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you. Hey, Sarah, Cindy. Good to see you too. Candace, DJ Tag, Rachel Shepard, Laura Bell, number 58, hitting the like button. Thank you. Everybody, if you don't mind just hitting the like button, I appreciate it. It does help the channel. It really does. And I appreciate it. I do. Cost you nothing. I say that all the time just because at the beginning, people really did think it cost them money to subscribe to the channel and to hit the like button. So I'm just going to keep repeating it because I figured if there were even just a couple of people at the beginning when my channel was a lot smaller that were confused by it, as the channel grows, I would think that the number of people who might think the same thing would grow as well. So that's why I keep repeating it. All right. Tina in the last 20. Hey there. All right. Let's get to the show, which I guess we kind of have been talking about. Scarlett, yay, I'm glad you're here. Farm Girl, good to see you. Hi, Liz. Okay. This was interesting. All right, you're going to have to refresh my memory. Of course, I did watch it twice, and I did record a 4-hour video about it. However, I have only edited because I got the Tata Farms one out. I started that earlier on Sunday. And so I just thought, I just want to finish this and get it out. Otherwise, if I wait till after I do however many videos, this is going to be for the final one. And sure enough, I ended up talking a lot. I'll cut a lot of it out. I mean, I'll cut out at least half of that. But what did I start saying? Senior brain. Oh, the Tata Farms video. I just thought it's going to be so untimely, and it doesn't really matter that much, especially because the video is really a Caleb versus Cody comparison video, as much as it's a let's review the Tata Farms blog video. So the Tata Farms blogs are not that long, so I read them to you so you're up to date on what's going on at Tata Farms, and I share with you any photos that are in it, so you're up to date on that as well. And then I throw in my commentary. And there's nothing negative to say about what's written by it. So it alternates. The blog is either written by Janelle or it's written by Maddie. But there's underhanded digs that you can see that they are giving to Cody throughout. Not really Robin. I don't know if I've even brought Robin's name up on any of my videos. Maybe you guys can let me know. If I did, it would have been in tandem with Cody. But yeah, I do believe, and the Father's Day one is good. It's very possible Maddie wasn't taking any strikes or doing any digs at Cody at all. It is possible. And yet, every single characteristic she described her husband as having was a 180 from who Cody is, how Cody acts. And so it seemed blatant to me. So I had a lot to say. All right. So make sure you go watch that. I actually say this in this video. Although I think I say it at the end of the video, which your guys aren't going to see until a week from now. All right. Oh, hi, Nessa. Thanks for coming back. And I didn't read through the chat. If you wrote how to pronounce your name, you can write it again. Maybe I'll catch it this time. And then remember to read through the chat at the end. All right. Okay. So the first video that you guys are going to see, which should go out tomorrow, if I can finish editing it tonight and then do a watch through tomorrow with the final edits, and then just the upload process takes a long time. There's 3 involved. I learned the first one's a download. I have to download it from the software in my computer onto my desktop because it won't go directly to YouTube. And then after that download, I then have to upload it to YouTube. But when you do that, YouTube does 2 checks on it. There's like the original, basic, we're uploading it now. And then there's a whole nother check, which is over an hour long, where they do all the copyright checks. So it's a process. It's a multi-hour process just to get it published after it's done. All right. Okay, so going back to what's all been happening on this. Where do we begin? We're probably going to be jumping around. I bet any money we're going to be jumping around. Thank you, Kathy, for liking my stories. Hello, Iowa. I just saw Iowa. I didn't catch the name, but it went by really quick. Amy Widenhouse, good to see you again. Hi, thank you for hitting the like button. Okay, you'll still watch a 4-hour video. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty raw, pretty rough. I don't know you want this one. There's lots of pauses. Some of that time, in fairness, some of that time is the 42 minutes of showtime where I'll be watching a segment. Sometimes I'll skip by it if I know exactly oh, this was the boring section where she just shared the story, or when they're showing video clips again, I'll go quicker through that. So some of it would be very boring because I would just be sitting here staring at the computer or picking my nose and listening to it maybe. All right. Hello, Birdie. Jana said that Mary was somewhat tight-lipped about some subjects today. Yes. I had a theory early on in one of these tell-alls, and I reiterated it in this last one when I did my review. I don't think Mary slipped in terms of the slippery slope of how she started off. I've got nothing to hide. I'm going to speak my truth. Bah, bah, bah. I am woman, hear me roar. And she kind of started answering questions that way at the beginning too. Or saying, I didn't know about that. I didn't see that. And then she kept slipping more and more and more and more back into the submissive Mary that really wants to please Cody. So to me, it was a sign she's still in love with him. I felt like as of the taping in October, had he came up to her and said, I screwed up big time. Should have never treated you the way I did. I am going to be a whole new man. I'm going to make it up to you. Will you come back? She would have said yes. Convinced of it. Which is disappointing. Now, the good news is, I know she just recently did that interview with Lai. I saw the first one too that she had done with her. Lai, is that her name? Anyway, I saw that she did the interview. I'm glad somebody said that she was answering some things honestly, because I had no desire to click on it. I didn't really have time to click on it either, but I looked at it and went, okay. Whatevs. So I think, back to my philosophy, my theory, I think that she ran into Cody while she was there. First of all, we know for a fact, she said on the show, he called her just 2 weeks before the show, probably right after Christine filed the lawsuit, because that was supposed to be 2 weeks before this taping. And she said, it was a couple weeks ago. I think he got the lawsuit from Christine. He went reeling and flipping around like a Tasmanian devil out of anger, out of frustration, out of fear of poverty, out of spite, out of just his newfound hatred of Christine. Never really liked her since she left, but it kind of was at a whole nother level for this one-on-one. So I think he called Mary because he needed a friend. He's so used to having other wives. And he said it on the show, and the wives have said it on the show, that he gets upset with someone, he just leaves and he goes to another wife's house. And we know he will pit the wives against each other. So he'll go here and he'll go here and he'll talk to both of them about that one over there. He can't do that anymore. He has got no place to go. Just Robin. Just like watching paint dry. So, I mean, she's a good lay. That's why he likes her. That's it. Or she was. Oh, goodness. So, good for you, Lynn Skinner. You sign up for Farmers Only. Jennifer says she wants to see the uncut interviews with the OG3. Now, wouldn't that be some good TV? Yes. I guess it would make the production company not look great in terms of, maybe that's why we never see cutting room floor stuff. I wonder if Puddle Monkey has the exclusive rights to all of that, all those tapes and everything. So TLC can't ask for them to say, we're going to pull other stuff out. That wouldn't make sense. I think TLC just literally pays for the program, and they have nothing to do with creative control whatsoever. So I think Cody ran into Mary at some point on their way to lunch, on their way to the bathroom. Like, they're in the same house all day long. Makes sense that you would run into each other. And I think he gave her like a wink or a little smile. Maybe he even talked to her, said, let's have each other's backs. And she just melted and thought, you know what? He's a nice guy. He's the man I married. What was I thinking? Yeah, he was being a little dorkish, but we're okay now. And she just started protecting him and giving non-answers. Non-answers. They were almost like Cody answers. We're going to say a bunch of words, but not really say anything. It's like saying, what do you think about flowers? Well, flowers come in different colors, right? Don't they? To pick my favorite flower would be that is so difficult. Who can pick a favorite flower, right? I mean, I'm sure some people like blue, and some people like purple, and some people like red. Some people like chrysanthemums. All of a sudden it sounded funny. And some like geraniums, some like tulips, and others daisies. Like, well, that's just, it's not even a fair question, really. Some days I'm a daisy girl. And some days I'm, I might even just be like one of those flowering weeds. That might be how I feel. Yeah. So, it's the kind of answers we were getting. And Suki's response to all of them. I just wanted to ring her. And yet this was better than last year. Shockingly. There were so many opportunities to follow up that she didn't. And it's clear that obviously it was clear that we're doing a one-on-one tell-all talk back about a show they never saw, because they all live in separate residences now. It's one thing to say, okay, they didn't see all the footage, but they lived it because they did everything together. They don't do anything together anymore. So they're walking in blind, completely blind. I'm starting to think it's possible Suki did too. Yeah. That Puddle Monkey just wasn't ready with anything. So they're like, well, why would you have to tape it then? Why? We had a whole month off mid-season between like episodes 19 and 24. A whole month. Or was it 6 weeks? It may have even been 6 weeks. That would have been the perfect time, because they weren't discussing Garrison, and the next 4 episodes were going to be Garrison. The day after that last one aired, they could have sat down and did their tell-all. They wouldn't have even had to show them anything because it aired. Can you tell I'm frustrated? I need to edit out a lot of my frustrations out of these videos, because I get frustrated with myself seeing how frustrated I am. I'm like, well, she's annoying. Why do people watch this stuff? Oh, that's right, Tracy. Tell me not. Or tell me again. I almost lost it when I realized that we were going back and asking Christine questions about Sedona, or that we were just going back to the Sedona trip at all. There was no reason, none, out of everything we didn't talk about. And I get Garrison's off the table, which probably meant they made a hard and fast rule that children would be off the table because children can morph into Garrison, and they didn't want to talk about it at all. Completely respect that if that's Chris or Janelle's decision. Not if it's, I mean, obviously I know Cody and Robin wouldn't want to talk about it, but if Janelle, now, let me ask you this. Okay, poll time. Let me get the YouTube up. I want to know if you think, if this was, okay, what was the question I was talking about? I know half of it. If this was aired on time as opposed to in October, or recorded, I should say, had they recorded it at the end of the season after they would have seen everything, would Janelle what? What was I just saying about Janelle? I just saying I was responding to a comment, but I'm like flipping through, so now I don't know where that comment was. Let me go to new comments. Somebody will write it. What was I talking about? Let's see here. New comments. Janelle's a star. Janelle and David. Yeah, Janelle and David were both the stars, weren't they? I was talking about Garrison, but what would Janelle? Oh, maybe that's where I was going with it. Thank you, Marissa. Do you think Janelle would have taken the topic of Garrison off the table had she seen the entire season? Yes or no? Curious. I could go either way on this one, really. All right, so I'm looking in the wrong spot. YouTube. Content. Live. I have no, oh, I'm in the wrong YouTube account. I'm like, I have no live streams? Who am I talking to? It's getting senior perspective, Jenny. Okay. Content live, control room. Okay, here we go. We will add a poll, start a poll. Actually, I'll go back. I'll just do it as a Q&A because it's yes. Oh, no, a poll. Q&A. I was thinking yes or no instead of Q&A. Okay. Do you think Janelle would be open to Garrison questions if this one-on-one, was recorded in May instead of October? And keep in mind, the reason I am putting a query about it is not necessarily that more time has passed, so she's more open to talking about it, as much as this would have been an opportunity for some questions to really go at Cody and get him to answer specific things. Okay. Your question is too long. All right, let me abbreviate the months. Oh, I'm almost there. I'll get rid of one-on-one. If this was recorded, we know it's a one-on-one. Okay. Exactly 100 out of 100 characters. Look at that. Okay, the poll is now live. Let me know what you think. I'll push that aside for now. Get back to the chat. Mary said, I think she would have been open to asking Cody some questions herself. Oh boy. I mean, it would have been a good one-on-one to get some honesty. Well, I don't know if it would have been honesty, but it would have been a good one-on-one to see Cody have his feet to the fire. I would have enjoyed it immensely. Okay. Of course, that being said, too, it really would be mostly questions to Cody. Not really Janelle. Because, I mean, it's still, yeah. It's only been a year. I don't know that she would have been ready for that. But, I mean, we saw her throw softball questions right and left to Robin. So she could have thrown some softball questions to Janelle. Asked her some things just lighthearted. Tell us one of the fond memories you have. You know, that kind of stuff. To just keep it light and not too intense. And then she could have gone in. Random old lady, they have not said exactly what Robin did. I don't know what it is. On Sunday night, since we don't have a show now, we're going to start going back and watching Mykelti. Well, I'll be watching. They'll be listening. Review the episode. So we're going to start with the tell-alls to hear what she has to say about that. For some reason, I thought I might want to start with the last one. I can't think of why right now. And then we had done maybe 5 or 6 of the episodes of this season already during that break period of time. So we'll go back and finish that up. And then here on Tuesday nights, we're going to continue on with season 2. I don't remember exactly where we were, but I think we were on like episode 2 or 3 of season 2. So that's what we will do next week, whichever one is the next one that we left off at when the season picked back up again. Jean, thank you for hitting the like button. Okay. Ground control to Major Cody. Last transmission. Money expires 2027. A lot of people in my comments are saying they hope that there is a spinoff and that they would be here for it and watching it. So I hope so. I think that there's a lot of stuff. And it doesn't have to be, I mean, look at me. I'm reading the sweetest little blog from Maddie and Janelle. And I managed to make it snarky every time. Because they still share children. And the children are still attempting a relationship with Cody. And I'm sure Cody thinks he's attempting one as well. So there is still going to be conversation. He could say, I could see this now. I could see Cody saying, oh, because he wouldn't be a part of it, neither would Robin. Just be, let's follow the divorcees. I could see him saying, I forbid you to use my name in the show. So they would always have to say, my dad, which is fine. Although we'll have to come up with a new word, or maybe they'd come up with maybe they could say Codester. Goldilocks. I don't know. There's a bunch of them that we have, right? We could share a name that they could use. Because I know that Maddie calls him Cody now. She doesn't refer to him as dad anymore. Okay. Hi, Valadia. It's good to see you. All right. Yes, Mary. Good point. Janelle and Mary would have been really ticked about the Coyote Pass stuff. Mary seemed quite miffed when she's like, I just saw that for the first time. I didn't know he said that. I can do what I want. I'm like, oh, he said more than that. He said more than that. I don't think Suki knows. Otherwise, she would say, well, he also said, I mean, he was very authoritative, dictatorial, and from the land of Esholia, according to our lovely moderator, Lynn. One of my favorite words now. Scarlett, Ambien wouldn't have such a long-term effect. I'm thinking she's on short-term maintenance. Clearly something was up. Because that was, I don't know who that was. I mean, or we're dealing with a Sybil situation here. Because that was a whole new personality that we hadn't seen before. Confident, sit up like you even have a rod in your back, hand to your chin, and little smile and giggles the whole time. This could not describe Robin any less. Is not who she is. It's not how she's been for 15 years. So, yeah, that arm hanging off the end and her going like this the whole time was driving me crazy. And when it wasn't hanging off the couch doing that, it was here. Ugh, the smugness is ridiculous. So something's up. I don't know my drugs really well. Y'all probably know a lot better than I do. Maybe firsthand, maybe I'm just saying you could be a nurse. We have doctors in the house. We have a lot of doctors that watch this that are sister friends, actually. So I do not know how I will say, I don't know what cocktail of drugs they put me on. They said they sent me home with the same stuff. There is no way. But after my ruptured appendix, whatever I was on in the hospital for that week, it's good stuff. And I didn't realize it till afterwards. I just thought, I'm just being positive. That's who I am. And then I got home and I'm like, oh, sucks. And it hurts more. And yeah, so yeah, they had something going that was good. Aloha, J-Lu. We don't need to see moo. Say I'm not touching that. I would say answer or get fined. Moo. Yes. Answer or get fined. It's very simple. I don't know. It's not an answer. Why don't you know? There's so much you can explain there and talk about. If somebody asks you a question, you don't know the answer to it, you could talk for 5 minutes about it and say, well, here's the situation. This is what I'm aware of because I saw this happen. I heard that this happened, but I don't know anything about it. So I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know how that affects the family, but my perspective is blah, blah, blah. Like it is possible to come up with an answer. And especially when this is a pet peeve I have with my kids. Oh my goodness. It makes me so, I have taught them well, though. They know better by now, but every time I get a new student, I'm like, here we go again. New training. It's going to take me 6 months. When I ask you a question about you and how you feel or think about something, I don't know is not an acceptable response. Because if I'm asking you what you think about something and you don't know, well, who knows? Nobody else is going to know. You're the only one in your head. So take a pause, get the wheels turning and think, and then give me a response. And yes, middle school kids can be trained to do this. Even elementary school kids. I just haven't worked with them for a while. I was working with like really young preschool kids, teaching them English for many years, for about 5 years. And then I jumped into high school speech therapy. So I kind of miss those middle school years. Back in the day when I was a speech therapist, when I started off, I was at the elementary school level. But I don't remember seeing them as much that this was an issue. But certainly with my middle school kids and my high school kids, you're going to use a complete sentence and you're going to answer my question. Especially it's like, how are you this week? Oh, goodness. Yes, Joni. Goldilocks stealing these song lines and waxing poetic all the time. It is so funny. All this time, I just thought he was really attempting to be a poet. Like, this is just like, it's been a desire of his. He thinks he's really creative. And because he's a man who kind of randomly takes words and puts them together and they don't really make sense, again, it's like a sentence or that's used or a word that's used adjacent to its correct one. I came across that Canva today when I was going through Canva that I started making. It was the adjacent a jingle. It's going to make a jingle about all Cody's adjacent words, or just the concept that he uses words that are adjacent, close, next to the correct word. So you understand. That's why I always said it sounds like he speaks English as a second language, because it's like, I'm understanding, I think, where you're coming from and how you mean to use that word. It's not quite there. It's close. So at one point, I just have the thumbnail, and it was the adjacent a jingle. Although I haven't written a jingle yet, so that's why it's just sitting there as a thumbnail. But apparently got motivated to do a thumbnail one day. All right, so yes, I always thought that was when he says these crazy sentences that appear to be his attempt at poetry. We now know he is citing he's plagiarizing. Is what he's doing. He is stealing somebody else's words. It all of a sudden became blatantly obvious with his reference to the dance. I mean, don't pick such a popular song, Cody. And I never would. That was a good song. But I caught one more. I don't know if I wrote it down here. Let me see. Might be downstairs by my computer. Why would I have taken it down there after I recorded it here? But it appears that I may have. Shoot. There was a... if I keep talking about it, eventually it'll come to me. There's a piece of paper under here. There we go. That's it. There was a Taylor Swift song as well. So we caught the Garth Brooks song, okay, the dance. And then the Rose Garden of Trust. The Rose Garden of Trust is a line from a band called Live. And the song is Dolphins Cry. I saw it on YouTube. The guy was singing. It sounds like he might have possibly a British accent. Somebody might be familiar with this band. It looks like the song was popular in like 1990, which would also coincide with when Cody was listening to most of his music. And he always said, the 80s and the 90s, great music time. Remember all that? So we know he listens to music a lot. He uses his music reference with Garrison at the funeral too. But yeah, so they have a line about the Rose Garden of Trust. So, I mean, kind of brilliant on his part, because I had no idea what he was talking about. I never even heard of the band called Live. They had quite a few people show up at some big open venue area, though, that were there for him. So some people know who they are, or at least back in the 90s they did. But He also made the reference to death. Well, he didn't say death by a thousand cuts. Taylor Swift has a song called Death by a Thousand Cuts. Now, again, a phrase, I don't want to say common, but not unusual. It's been used before. I've heard it before. But he pauses. What was so good about it when he said it, he goes, it's like love dies like a death of a million paper cuts. Change it to paper cuts. I'm like, well, that is pretty horrible if you're going to literally die by paper cuts. That is a slow, painful death. So he technically had 3 songs just in this last episode that he had reference to. Isn't that crazy? So now if we go back and find a lot of these phrases, or as we go back and we start rewatching it and they start coming up, if all of a sudden there's like something that sounds like, oh, Cody trying to wax poetic again. There's another attempt at being the poet that he thinks he is. We got to write it down and hit Google. Yep. I even have the paid version of ChatGPT, and Google did better. The free Google did better in terms of AI finding. Okay. Cody's still estranged from his kids. Yeah. How many years has it been? He can't use COVID anymore. It's 2025. COVID was in 2020. 5 years later. Come on, get it together. DV legal advocate. Yeah. Garrison really wanted his dad's love so badly. Yes. Oh, that makes me sad. So does Gabe. Gabe is even more sensitive. So I'm very happy to hear Janelle and Maddie both talk to the fact that they're working on getting Gabe, or that they're always in touch and they're always checking in with Gabe. And I like that Gabe is living in Vegas with his brother. But there's nothing I want more than all of them to go to North Carolina. I just think it'd be so great. So great. Maybe. You never know. Whatever job, well, isn't it like physical? I don't think it's physical therapy, but it's something like in that realm. He might have a job that's not a virtual job, that he could just move there and do it virtually. All right. Rhonda, there's a good point. Grief could have loosened her tongue. I thought that with the very first Garrison episode. In fact, it did seem like some of the things she was saying were directed at Cody and could have been interpreted nicely, but I feel like weren't. Like, no, I think it's good that he's going to drive his ashes up there. I think that's important for him to do that. I think that it's symbolic that he is going to dig the grave. Like, it just felt like comments of, you had a hand in this part of it, so now you'll have a hand in the final part of it. Sadly, Cody ended up turning it into trying to be like he was reenacting an old Western movie. And so it was terribly disappointing in the end. All right. Wendy's front yard, Janelle gives 0 Fs. That's true. Yeah, she's over him. That is certain. She and Christine are definitely over. And maybe Mary on today, but as far as what we've seen so far, she took a step back without Jen being by her side. Stacy, you think that Robin looks like Jabba the Hutt? I mean, she could say creepy, smirky smuggler. That is funny. I wonder if, now that I think about it, I think he was too small, but maybe he was Jabba. That I put a creature that looks a lot like Jabba the Hutt as one of the clips in my video, but it may have been the video that already went out. It may be the one in Tata T that went out today. And I believe, though, it was Cody being Cody as Jabba the Hutt. Okay. 221, Mary. Thank you for hitting the like button. Betty, I can just hear him say to Robin after she told him that she was pregnant before she got married, oh yeah, I had sex too, not to be outdone. That is 100% my take on it. My mind went that way. Not when we originally heard it. When we originally heard it, I believe he did it. And my whole question was it a guy? Was it a girl? That was all I was trying to decipher, because he referred to him as a he. But then again, Cody, the way he speaks, I mean, he often just leaves words out. He's an odd duck. So that was my question. Then I kind of morphed into, I don't know that this ever happened. I think he thinks Robin is really cool. She's like, oh man, I was such a nerdy straight-laced boy, and I always had to do all the church things on Sunday and dress this way. And here she is running around having sex with guys, and she even gets pregnant. That's crazy. And look, she is still somebody who people in the church want to be with. So how did she rise above like a phoenix? She's amazing. I certainly can't tell her that I hadn't done anything, which of course he could, because he was married for 15 years to 3 women. So he had his fair share of practice. Now, of course, we know that Cody's like a jackhammer, and he's not at all interested in seeing to it that the wife is at all happy in the end, as long as he is. Nevertheless, he had a lot of jackhammer practice. So I really, for a while there, thought the exact same thing you did, Betty. But then when I watched it again, I have a whole bunch, I'll probably be cutting a lot of that out, where I was talking about this and explaining why and where my thought process is. But then Mary knew about it too. And I'm pretty sure they said before she married him, she knew about it, that they were talking about it then. So that would have been before Robin was in the picture. So they both knew before they married him, but Janelle and Christine didn't know. I'm kind of curious about that. Why not tell Janelle? Janelle had sex before she married Cody. She was married before. So why not tell? I mean, his argument is, I just wasn't as close with them. I wasn't as intimate. We didn't share as much. Oh, when Mary sees the way he responded in this tell-all too, I hope she doesn't slip back, because I feel like this was recorded in October now. We're not seeing it till June. Wishing my life away. June. 6 months later. More than 6 months later. 8 months later. I'm scared she's made a lot of progress in that time. She's obviously watched all the episodes, and I feel like she's still seeing her therapist. She's with Jen all the time. She's on track. She's thinking straight. She's realizing what he's done to her, and everything is good. And I'm really scared that she's going to look at this and see him talking about how he was vulnerable with her and he did love her and they did have something really special. Oh, the bouncing ball part of this show, trying to figure out if he loved them, he didn't love them. He loved them, he didn't love them. He doesn't, in just this episode, we were going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It was ridiculous. I even have a segment where I break down what Cody says because he's talking about Christine. Now, this is all filmed on the same day, right? Earlier in the day, he's laughing and joking about the idea of going camping with David. And then later on, Suki tells him, yeah, David's for it. Oh, he is? Yeah. And then she says, and Christine thought it would be nice if the four of you could get together and do stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, oh, okay. Because they started talking about whether they would be able to reconcile at some point. Now, again, the lawsuit is an issue. But he bounced back and forth when he first said, did she initiate it? I want to think back now. It may have been Suki who initiated it, saying that, do you think that you would be able to, or he said that he doesn't think he would ever be able to sit down with Christine. She wanted to know, do you think you could sit here? Because she kept trying to get everybody to say whether we could all sit on the couch and do couch interviews together again. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all just be together again and do these couch interviews? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to, they might clam up even more, or certain ones might clam up even more. But it would be good TV because, Cody would get really defensive if anyone said something that hurt Robin's feelings. So that would be good TV. So he says, no. Well, first he says, yeah, we might be. I know what it was. He started off by saying, I think down the road, Christine and I might be friends. We could have a friendship. Okay, this is friendship. This is sitting on a couch and being asked questions. Like, we're at two completely different levels here, right? I think Christine and I can have a friendship. Then Suki goes a couple questions later and says, so you think that you could all sit here and sit down together? Oh, no. No, I can't see that happening. And this was so good. And he follows it up with, and David wouldn't be wise to push that or initiate that or try to make that happen. I was like, David? Who's talking about David? Cody's talking about David. So Cody just brings him up. It's part of his fantasy again. Well, if we all get together, David will be there. He's and David. So it was like his attempt at belittling David, if you will. Well, let me just say, it would not be wise of him. He'll learn. He'll figure it out eventually. I'll help him. I'll take him to a bar for a beer and go camping. Teach him the ways of the world, how to be a man. So he said it wouldn't be wise of David to do that. And then doesn't even take a breath and goes right into, although David and Robin might try to figure that out. Robin might try to figure that out with David. But I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think they will. I'm like, what are we talking about? We were not even mentioning David. We're not talking about David. And as soon as you say it would not be wise of him to even suggest such a thing, you're now talking about another fantasy you have in your head about Robin and David getting together and arranging a get together with the four of you. Oh my gosh, this was not the question. But Cody just took us on a journey. We are on a mental journey with him, and it is very scary. And I love roller coasters. Put me on the tallest, fastest, steepest coaster in the world. I am a happy girl and my hands are up. I love coasters. This ride made me sick. It would be so hard to be in this man's head. Or be his wife. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. We were all over the place. Ugh. Okay. Brady Case drinks jackhammer. Well, I mean, let's face it, Cody's not a giver. He's all into Cody. Whatever's good for Cody, whatever makes Cody happy. Yeah. He's like a 16-year-old boy losing his virginity still. All right. 229 likes. Very good. Thank you for hitting the like button, everybody. I appreciate you. Okay. From what I heard on other podcasts today, some people call gay these. Oh, what? I don't know what you're referring to. Shoot. This is a problem I have when I'm just bouncing around in this text. What would they be referring to as? It's like another word for gay. Oh, speaking of words I don't know, and I am the first to admit if I don't know a word. What does that one mean? My husband just used one the other day. I'm like, what is that? And he goes, well, he used it and someone else. I go, I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard that word before. Janelle referring to herself, was it an earth mama? An earth woman? Earth mama? Do we have a lot of different definitions for this? I want to know. Let me know right in the chat all of your definitions. Let me take a look at our poll while I'm doing this. We have, okay, the question was, do you think Janelle would be open to Garrison questions if this was recorded in May instead of October? 57% say no. 43% say yes. That's a pretty high yes percentage, I think. I figured a lot of people would just say, no, she doesn't want to go there. But I think because of the aspect of her knowing that Cody would be asked questions and her also knowing that she could control the fact that her questions would be very easy and that she could probably screen them ahead of time and they're not going to argue with her. That's where I go, possibly. Because I feel like she's starting to, like people have been saying in the chat, she doesn't give an F anymore. So I feel like there's part of her that's just sort of like, yep, ask me what I think. I'll let you know. Okay. Danny, hi Danny. Danny says she does not believe for 1 minute that Cody had a sexual experience prior to high school or in high school. And I don't for 1 second believe if he had that he'd keep it to himself because as Janelle says, he leaks like a sieve. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Did that one experience really happen? He definitely told Robin. You know what the follow-up question would be here? Going back to Mary and saying, Cody mentioned that you knew about this and that you guys talked about it. When did that happen? Exactly. When did he tell you? Was it before you guys got married? After you were married for a while? Or around the time you were maybe courting Robin? Because then that would make it very clear that the whole thing was made up. He's such a child too. Anytime sex comes up, he giggles like a little girl. He just thinks it's the funniest thing. We're going to talk about sex. I watch it and think, I don't even have words. I do not even have words. I'm like, why is he acting like a little boy? Why is this? This is not funny when you're in your 50s talking about sex. You can do it without giggling if you have an ounce of maturity. I mean, I remember sitting through 8th grade learning all the sex stuff and that in a co-ed room, and I held it in. I mean, some of the times you wanted to laugh because you're like, heck no. Was it 8th grade? Maybe it was 6th grade. I may have been younger in 8th grade. I just remember going, ew. And then everyone's talking about how many kids their parents have, and everyone had like most families that had two kids, and so they were like, my parents did it twice because they have two kids. I'm like, I'm one of three. My parents had to do that 3 times. Disgusting. Oh, goodness. But it was all funny. I just remember it was all funny because you were a kid and you're like, what? Are you kidding me? No way. And that's like how he's acting. Like an absolute child. He just finds it so funny. I will say, Suki does push the sex stuff a little more than she needs to. I mean, I was happy with Cody because it got him angry. So that was a good move. She wasn't asking the right questions to find out if what he was saying was true or not. She was just trying to find out how many more were there? What else can you share with us? I'm like, how about we just take this one incident that you actually mentioned on the show and let's dive deep and find out, is there truth to this or not? And then find out from Mary, when did she find out about all of this? Because we know that within a month of him meeting Robin, he told her. But when did he tell Mary? So if he did tell Mary while they were dating, then that debunks my whole, he made it up just to be impressive to Robin. And again, I'm willing to admit that. So these are characteristics Cody needs to learn to adopt. Sometimes people are wrong, and it's okay. Life goes on. Look, no earthquake. Oh, goodness. Okay. Yeah, that's true, Hummingbird. She did say that Mary asked him and Robin asked. They both said that they asked him. So he didn't share it with them. They asked him. But when did Mary ask him? I don't know if there was any specifics on exactly when. And that's what makes me wonder, could he have done it with Mary? See, here's the other part of it, which totally makes sense to me. The fact that he would share this with Mary, he would decide, I don't think it's appropriate to share it with Janelle. I don't understand that. Christine, I get, with her dad being in leadership at the church, with her grandfather being the one who founded the church. Like, I could see she's so well connected and knew so many people that the fear of that getting out and the consequences of it and retribution, because there's punishments for doing that, and then there's punishment for lying about doing, like, it's pretty bad what he did in the AUB faith. You have to make restitution, you have to make penance, you have to make something like that. You can't just say, whoops, sorry. And I think that's why Robin wasn't involved in her church. Like, she wasn't welcome in it when she got knocked up before she got pregnant. Maybe she is telling the truth when she's saying we didn't have enough time to find another sister wife. I always find that as the funniest line ever. I'm like, 8 years? Somehow Cody managed every year to get another one. In like 8 years, you couldn't manage to find another sister wife? I don't think you're looking that hard. But it could be that as long as they were married, they still were not in good standing with the church. Could make sense. Part of being in good standing with the church, I think, is giving financial contributions above and beyond what you normally would give. I don't even know if she would ever normally give, because she's not, she's selfish too. I mean, we saw the bills for all the stuff she bought for herself. And then for her husband's family to give them money to pay it off, and she takes those and buys more stuff. The nerve. I can't even imagine. If that were me and my son was married to somebody and she got herself in this financial mess, and as I'm like, listen, I'm going to help you guys out so that your credit scores aren't dinged, so you're going to be able to buy a home someday. Like, I'm going to loan you some money, or maybe even give you some money. Let's just say, like, I have 30 grand sitting around. I could scrape up 30 grand to loan them for sure. All right. So if I went around and I got this money together, I'm like, here you go, pay it off. and now you just pay me back when you can. Like, we'll come up with a payment plan, but like, I'm not going to charge. It's not going to be an amortization chart. I'm not going to charge you interest in that. I'm just trying to help you get on your feet. And then I find out that little bitch went and took my 30 grand and went shopping with it. I would be telling my son, if you don't divorce her by tomorrow, oh, I'd be so angry. Talk about feeling violated. I mean, it's the same thing as being stolen from. It's really no difference if she came over and pulled it right out of my purse. Stolen money. Ugh. He was an athlete, yes. Well, I was an athlete in high school. Yeah. That means what? Oh, God. He has such stereotypes in his head, doesn't he? And he has visions of what people should be, how people should act, what's cool. And he really works hard to put himself into that mold of what's cool. In his world, cool is a convertible sports car. In his world, cool is multiple wives, at least 3. What else is cool? Oh, lots of children. More the merrier. It's hard for me to ding him on that one just because we know all the kids and they're all great. It's like, well, which one would you pick to get rid of? No, yeah, you can't do that. But he wasn't responsible about it. Spending all day driving all around, not making much money. Sold a handful of signs in his entire life. I don't know. He owes Janelle everything financially. Like, because to him, financial security, which they still didn't even have because they had 13 kids and 4 mouths to feed. But Janelle's income is just what kept their heads above water. Now, one could say that Christine was just as much or more valuable because she homeschooled the kids, she fed the kids, she did everything. She was a full-time mom for 13 kids. I can't imagine. And then eventually they went to the private school, and then eventually some of them went to the public schools. Like, there was a mishmash of things happening. But in the meantime, she just kept having babies too. She had 6 kids. That's a lot of kids. Plus the other 6, plus the 1. Like, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. And early on, when they were all small and I can't even imagine. But see, Cody doesn't value that like he values money. So I think in Cody's world, Janelle is the most important and valuable thing that ever happened to him. Although he's got Christine to thank for the show. There would be no TLC if there was no Christine. She's the one that got it all worked out. Okay. Back to the chat. I have a lot of back and forth that I did, and it's going to be interesting when I do my editing. I hope that it's coherent in the end. If not, just, move on and just say, it was great, Jen. She's losing it. But I was following along with the story that Robin was telling, and then I'm like, well, now that's a complete lie. This whole camping story is ridiculous. And then we get into the whole story about how they met. And I'm like, well, some of this stuff isn't making sense either. So I had to go to the book and pull out excerpts and read them. You want me to tell you what the most fascinating thing that I figured out last night that I did not catch when in the live stream? That is, what was it? You can tell. Last night I finished recording this 4-hour thing after 2:00 in the morning. And then I had some salmon and mashed potatoes. That's revved up. The worst thing to have, probably. Talk about being heavy in your stomach. But then I woke up 5 hours later. That is not like me. I want to have a good 8.5 hours of sleep. when I was through high school and college and even early years until I just I couldn't do it because the kids got up. But like, if I could work it out, I would sleep 9 hours a night. Like my body it does well. It loves sleep. It doesn't get a lot of sleep anymore. That's my own fault. I'm working on that. I.e. last night, I woke up to go to the bathroom and I started laying my head back on the pillow, but my head started spinning. And then I'm thinking, I got to get a video going and whatnot. All right. So this is why it's not really functioning very well today. This is my excuse. This is my Cody Brown excuse. You'll see on this video, my yes, but, because all the answers are, do you think that you could take accountability for it? Yes, but also blah, 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 blah. Yes, but. So I cloned a new term, the yes, but responses. All right. So which yes, but response were we talking about? So we were talking about how we met everyone. Okay. There were a couple of things that were shocking to me. One, this I think is huge. And I hope that we talk about it somewhere on the Sister Wives, not necessarily behind the scenes. I want it to be addressed by Suki, but that ship has sailed. Do you know that, okay, Cody meets, let me give you all the whole story between what they said and what the book said and put it all together for those of you who don't know. We kind of have to think about whose point of view are you going to take it from. Okay. One day, Cody goes to church. He is there with his wives sitting in the front of the church, somewhere between the first and third rows. Robin is sitting behind him. Now, she lives 3.5 hours away, but her cousin Reba lives in Lehigh and attends that church. And she was visiting her cousin Reba that weekend. Just so happens that they sat like a row or two right behind Cody. So he's up before the service talking to everybody around him, and he sees Robin and she sees him, and they lock eyes. She says, according to the book, for a brief second, she breaks away. She's all embarrassed. She shouldn't have done that. He makes zero mention of this encounter in the book. Zero. Nothing. All right. Next adventure. She goes home at the end of the weekend. That was the last time they saw it. They just saw each other. They didn't say hi, anything like that. Now, Cody now is saying during that interaction, he locked into her eyes and he fell in love and he couldn't let go. And, angels sang and smoke machines turned on and everything. So he said when she turned away, he thought, oh no, I'm so embarrassed. I shouldn't have done that. She's probably married. Oh my God, he thought she could have been married and he was doing that. He's such a pig. Can I just say? Such a pig. So a month goes by and Robin is up visiting her friend, Reba, cousin Reba, again. And it's a Saturday night. And he happens to be on a date with Mary, and they are just driving around. And wouldn't you know, they happen to drive by Reba's house. Reba has a whole bunch of friends that are outside hanging out on the front lawn. Why? Because they're waiting for Cody to drive by. You can't say that. They're just hanging out on the front lawn because that's where everybody hangs out, don't they? I don't know. Maybe they have a situation that the front lawn is big and there's no backyard. It's just very unusual for where I live. Okay. So he says, oh, look, there's Reba and a bunch of people. Let's stop and say hello. Because they knew a lot of the other people too. Mary gets out of the car and Robin ends up talking with Mary. Cody's talking to other people, but he's flirting with her. He doesn't say the word flirting. He just says things like, where's your husband? He calls it digging for information. Okay. Oh, I don't have one. At the end of that encounter, they go home. Encounter number 3. A month later, Robin's mommy tells her, "You need to get your scent out there." That is a quote Robin put in the book that Alice said to her. So gross. Like a freaking skunk. Okay. You need to get your scent out there. So you need to go up to that dance in Lehigh. Like there's no AUB churches. St. George, I believe, is a pretty large LDS population. And I think AUB as well. I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong. But, Uncle Daddy owned rental properties there. And that's where he moved Alice. So you would think that there would be a church involved if she moved there. But for some reason, Alice found it important that Robin had to go 3.5 hours away to this one particular church over here. Robin didn't want to. She didn't want to. She was embarrassed about her divorce. And so she acquiesced at the end because her brother and sister needed a chaperone. So she goes to this dance. Now, this is the new news that kind of shocked me. At the dance, according to the book, the second to the last song is the time that Cody went up and asked Robin to dance. Okay, and then they locked eyes and they were like madly in love, and that was all she wrote. So throughout the dance, they were not really interacting with each other, looking at each other, talking to each other. And I just found it odd. Like, light bulb striking moment. Why wouldn't you just go by and say, "Hey, Cody"? It's not that unusual. It felt very weird to me, but then they're weird. So I just let it go. But then Cody shared with us in this one-on-one that Christine was at the dance and she left early. And then Cody went over and asked Robin to dance with him. Now, Mary had been talking to Robin earlier at the dance. They talked for a little bit, and then Robin said after they were done talking, Mary went back to Cody and their friends, and she did her own thing. She didn't go over and try to meet them or whatever. So they were keeping this from Christine. This was the dirty little secret this whole time. Because obviously they both knew. There was the conversation of, "Oh, she's cute," after the lawn situation. And now after the dance situation, Cody and Mary go home. Apparently it was her night. And they sit around talking about, we should make her a sister wife. The other piece of information that is interesting, and I have this in the video, Cody shared with Suki that she said, "Oh, did you talk to Robin as soon as you got out of the car? And did you ask her, and flirt with her? Did you flirt with her at all or lock eyes? Did you have another," that's I think what it was. "Did you have another locking eyes moment?" He said, no. Because Mary was with me. My wife was there. I would have been inappropriate. But the book says that Cody was sitting with a bunch of women, which would have been his wives. Robin didn't know them at the time. She's writing that chapter from the perspective of, she would call him the boy with the shaggy blonde hair. Like, it was completely written from this perspective of, I don't know who this guy is at all. So she says, and Cody was sitting up there with a group of women. So he did that, which makes sense. They obviously all went to church together on Sunday anyways. That's not really grandiose news, except the fact that he's never admitted that before. So now he's coming out and saying, "Oh no, I didn't lock eyes or do anything with her on the lawn. My wife Mary was there. That would have been inappropriate." Following the time that he zoomed in and couldn't let go, and the lightning bolts and all that stuff was happening, well, all three wives were there. But he didn't say anything to Janelle and Christine about it. In fact, after the lawn thing and then the third meeting at the dance, no one said anything to Christine about the Robin girl that was there. Isn't that crazy? was all a big secret. And you know that Mary loves to have secrets with Cody. Loves it. It's like her favorite thing. She loves to have information that other wives don't know. She loves to think that the two of them are connected and they have the special thing. That's the whole, I mean, I've been saying that from jump. That's the whole reason she agreed to bring Robin into the situation. It was their secret. He even said it in the book at one point that Cody said, we should keep this quiet for a minute and see. We don't want to upset the apple cart with the other wives if we don't think it'll work out. So implying they may have gone on a couple more dates and then eventually shared the news. Well, they did, because Christine said she didn't meet Robin until after they'd been dating for a month. So Cody agrees to date another wife for a month and still has not introduced her to Christine. He knew Christine wouldn't approve. He knew Christine was going to be like, yeah, I don't think so. Because I think Christine's the one that put her foot down on all the other wives too. Just my opinion. I do know there was one that she didn't like. Now, does she get the final say? No, because clearly she didn't like Robin either. And she didn't get the final say on that one. Okay, I'm going on and on, aren't I? Okay. Dee Dee, hi, welcome. These lives are the highlight of my week. Thank you. You are welcome. And thanks for being a member for 9 months. Oh, look how long memberships have gone on. Okay. Memberships do have a financial tag on them. I believe it's $8.99 a month for the exclusive SOS level. Those are the ones where we watch things together live. It's a smaller group of us. There's like 50. Of course, not all 50 people are able to be there live on Sunday nights together, but whoever can. And then you have exclusive content from that. And then you also get everything at the other levels as well. And then the big supporter level, I think is $5.99. I'm not even 100% sure. It's either $4.99. I think it's $5.99. And they get early access to videos. Big supporter will get everything this level gets to, and some special icons to put on the thing. And then the keep the lights on level gets, what do they get? Emote. They're not emojis. Icons. Emote. Maybe they're emojis. Little characters. As well as the heart that says new if you're a new member, and then the heart that has the number inside of it for each month that you're a member, which if we're that high in membership, I need to make myself a note and make sure I think I have the hearts all set with the numbers inside of them for the months. It's set by YouTube. It's like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6, 12. I think it might be how it is. And then after 12, it's each year. So it's 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. So they're going to change from hearts to rings. It's a ring with a 1 inside of it when it's 1 year. All right. And that one I think is, I always try to say like, it's about the price of a cup of coffee, or actually cheaper from the place around me. I think it's $2.99 a month. So that's also just a thank you. It's called Keep the Lights On level. It just helps defray costs and motivate me to keep going. So I appreciate every single level. DJ Tag. Cody, a jackhammer, more like a mini woodpecker. This is true. I gave him too much credit. It's a mini woodpecker with a jackhammer motion. Go at it, and I'm done. Little Miss, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to hit your stars now. There we go. I'm not sure what that does, but I started. Okay. Cody doesn't have a sausage. He has a wiener. Okay. That was a lot of chatting. Look at this. I am way behind. All right. Let me see here if what's the next topic we are going to address here. Betty B says that he and Mary were young and immature. I bet he told Mary because she worshipped him and he looked like a sought-after guy, a player before a guy came into his life. That could be. Although God came into his life before he met Mary. Oh, in terms of just being a player before he met. I don't know. But wasn't he raised in the LDS church? Aren't they all fairly religious? I don't know. I don't know. Yes, David and Jen on the couch together. Perfect. The two of them can talk about what it's like being a supportive friend, the closest friend to them in the Sister Wives community. Okay, Renee. Renee was clarifying what I was reading before. Oh, here's a thought. Okay. Robin said she has gay friends and is open-minded. Robin said that? She did? I can't even imagine her having a friend, nor else a gay one. Doesn't sound very Robin, but okay. I also think that she treats Cody as her best customer. She says she does, so could it be that Cody had a gay relationship and felt comfy? I think it's very possible that he had a gay relationship. Extremely possible. I do find it odd, though, that he would share that with. I would think he would fear scaring her off. I don't think he's going to share anything with her that is going to. Oh, I forgot to change. My alarm went off a while ago. I do believe that. Let me open this up. He would be fearful based on their beliefs in the church that she would turn him away and say, oh, that makes me uncomfortable. I don't want you to leave me for a man. I can't compete. So I'm not sure if he would share that with her. Unless you're saying she had a gay relationship that he knew about. Now, see, there's a possibility. There's a possibility there. That if she shared that, oh, I also, on top of sleeping with my sister's boyfriend and getting knocked up and having to marry him and pull him away from her, on top of that, there was this girl, Betsy, that I was really into. So we would get together every now and then. That could be. And then if he shared, because he kept saying she's so open, she's so vulnerable, she's so open. So if she shares that with him, he could say, well, actually, when I was in college, I had this little tryst with this guy. It's very possible because it all matches. It's not just, he just, everything about him says, I think I would enjoy men. Maybe not exclusively, but I don't know. And then his high school friends all said they all thought he was gay. So it's not like this is something new. I don't know. All right. Let's see here. Camping, wrestling. Yeah. Jody said, isn't it weird how his attitude would change from one clip to the next about the sex questions that he was being asked? Yeah, he loved him. And then he acted like he hated it. And he acted like she done him wrong and she done him dirty and she tricked him and he was revealing stuff he wasn't supposed to reveal. Oh, he already said he had sex with somebody. Now all he said was that he messed around with other girls. So not a big revelation at all. His reaction is very odd based on what it is that he shared. I'm thinking the fact that he thought it was hysterical, that he was giggling like a little schoolgirl, and it all just felt so naughty, and he was talking about being Mormon naughty. Was that his term? On and on and on and on. That there was a break. There was a break because the next time she talked to him about it, she goes, I want to come back to, I really enjoy, actually, it was real interesting how she phrased it too. She said something like, I really enjoyed when we were talking about being Mormon naughty. Like, well, I'm going to try to be your buddy here and get you. And he just shut her down like that. So there was a break in there where she was interviewing other people and then coming back to it. And the producers obviously said, get more information out of him. Don't let him leave it where it is right now. In the meantime, he's in the back with Daryl Robin, who's been watching it on a monitor, and she is not happy with him. She's not happy with his attitude. She is not happy with his behavior. She's not happy with what he's sharing. He just, I mean, because he looks a fool, right? He looks like a child. He's not like a grown man. I mean, like, it's not something she's going to be proud to say, I'm the last one standing and this is what I win, you know, when he acts like that. So I think she gave him an earful because he came back accusing, blaming, and pointing fingers at everybody else. I give you a little bit of myself and then you do that. Like, he was, it's like, okay, where's all this from? Yeah, kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. Something was up. So again, that was another one of those. I believe he, during a break, saw Robin and they had a conversation. Just like I believe in the break, at one point, he saw Mary, sweet talked her, because he knows if he'll do that, she won't talk bad about him. He probably, because he likes, I'm sure he still would love to pit wives against each other. I bet any money that he went up to her and said something to the effect of, did you see or hear about what Christine did to me? Does she not know how much I love my children? You know, he's going to go on and on and on. You know how much I love my children. She is so undermined, and the two of them don't really get along, which is so funny because she never got along with Janelle and she did get along with Christine. But ever since, I don't know, the last decade, Christine's the one that Mary didn't really get along with. So you know that he went up to her and was just slamming Christine and trying to get even more sympathy and Mary on his side. I can see it now. It all matches. The fact that she just kept getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker to the point that she wasn't answering questions. She's just talking about nonsense, talking around it. All right. Yes, David is living rent-free. And King said, yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I just love it when he just brought him up out of the blue. I was just sort of like, why are we talking about David now? Whoa. And then when he went on to say the line about maybe Robin and David will get together and try to arrange for them all together, but I don't know. That didn't miss a beat. There was no splice or edit in there whatsoever. So his mind just all of a sudden went to this new story of them all getting together based on David and Robin initiating it. Why would they ever contact each other? He probably has fantasies and dreams too of David wanting Robin. Yeah, David desiring his wife and wanting his wife. I bet that turns him on too. Yeah, he's probably a voyeuristic kind of guy. Oh, I didn't change this other thing. Sorry. Banners. And in changing that banner, let me let you know, this is part of the levels too. During the lives, I do a shout out to everyone at the big supporter level and the exclusive SOS supporter level. And they are big supporters: Barbara Dijak, Meredith Andrews, Mary, April S., Liz S., Karen Perk, Leslie Reddick, Jay Shanty 3, Linda W., Carla Colson, Aaliyah, Crafty Florida Lady, Shaniqua Smith, Alwyn the Mini Chef, Lynn Skinner, and Knit My Bit. And then at our exclusive SOS supporter level, we have Birdie K, Living an Eclectic Life, Anonymous, Joni C., Sharon, Cindy Gregory, Laura McWilliams, Dee Dee, Steamfrog99, Julie Hornberger, J. Lou, Jennifer Harmon, Stark, Carol Annie D., Holly Jones, Marie Lingham, Evie, Steph Stevens, Stacy G., Vanessa, Shotzi Peace, Tammy G., Marsha Cooper, Diane Almeida, Farron Allman, Kendra MP, That's My Shoe, Amy D., I'm Your Huckleberry, Libby Sure, Lindsay B., G Kitty 52, Lisa, Sochitel Amarillo, Lisa Gasca, Tracy, Alexandria Swan, Shanna Banana, Rain Lady, Cheryl Smith, Sarah Lewis, Sean J., Marie Crabb, Waldo's mom, Lisa F., Danny Towns, Michelle, Ms. Lita, Ladybird's mom, Donna Redmond, Jessica Denham, Kaylin, and Alyssa 1704. All right. All right. He wants David, not Christine. Yeah, it is true. Whenever she would mention Christine, he would go shut it all down. When she would mention David, he would get all lit up. I cannot see him ever agreeing to get together with Christine to do anything. It appears he doesn't even get together with her to take his child. But that might all change now. I don't know. All right. Kathy Moo and Moldy Locks are now trying to show PDA to challenge Christine and David's divine love. Yes, that's so true, right? I mean, he is trying to one-up her. Is not good. It's not good. Because you saw in the video that I made, once you put nice music underneath the two of them making out, it's not gross. It's not, ew, that's enough. Stop. It's not any of that. That was TLC. Well, it was Puddle Monkey. Puddle Monkey doing her wrong. They didn't edit where you hear the whole time. Ain't nobody want to hear that. That's what takes it to the gross level. And then over and over and over again. You just take it away and just see the two of them kissing and have some pretty music going. It's nice. Now, Cody, it's not his action so much with Robin, because apparently she's really shy. Translation, she doesn't want him to touch her. Anyway, she's shy. So he just says disgusting things about her and does motions and the licking of the. So his is uneditable. No matter how beautiful the music is in the background, he's still gross. As the kids would say. He's still gross. There's no fixing that. So he's trying to one-up her with his... he's clueless. We just leave it at that. He's clueless. He doesn't know how to. Because I don't think the man truly knows how to show intimacy and love, because I don't think he understands what it is. I think he thinks love is like a transactional type thing. And I think he likes to receive affection. And so his way of showing love then is in a sexual manner, because he gets gratification from that as well. Like that, I think he has love and sex is twisted in his mind. And I don't think he can separate them. Like, I don't think he understands real romance, and that it can just be romantic without leading to the deed. I just think he's a dirty old man. Earth Mama. There we go. That was it. She's an Earth Mama. Okay, people, down and dirty, fully present in the moment. A down and dirty, fully present in the moment experience. Okay. But my mind could go so many different ways with that. It's okay. Right. She said she was an Earth Mama right after she said she's not asexual. I'm an Earth Mama. I like things earthy. My wine, my something else, and my sex. I like it earthy. Oh, Wendy, that's funny. She said, I'm a Taurus and an Earth Mama. That's stuff that merchandise dreams are made of. Twyla. I thought she meant she liked outdoors and gardening. Wouldn't that be funny if Janelle's like, I like my sex outside? Mama Squirrel says Janelle wants to get down some funky business. I really thought, was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago in the one-on-ones. I thought, that's the first time my eyes got opened. And I thought, Janelle is a freak in the sheets. Who knew? There were some things that were being said. There were things by him. The way that he would get so red when Suki would ask him about her and if, how their sex life is, he would just be like, he had nothing to share when it came to Christine and when it came to Mary. But when it came to Janelle, he was just like all kind of shy and embarrassed and it's not my place to say. And she's like, yeah, things are great. Everything's good there. She's like, I can get my needs met if she gets her needs met. Now, I don't know if everyone got their needs met, but Janelle, she got her needs met. Good girl. You go, girl. I just never heard that term before. I wonder if she made it up. Somebody Google and tell me if Google has an answer. So what Earth Mama means. If you're a Taurus, it said that you have your feet planted in the earth. Well, that's very Janelle for sure. Here we go. Personification of the earth as a nurturing and life-giving force, often associated with femininity, fertility, and nature. I just feel like these definitions are so vague, but maybe that's because I'm so left brain. I really am. I'm like, let's break it down. That's what all my videos are like. What exactly do you mean? These words together don't make sense. I have a hard time just like letting it go. Like you can use a bunch of flowery language. It doesn't really make any sense, but we kind of are talking about something, but not really. But I mean, I think that there's people who just go through life and they're just like, all right, that's how it is. I mean, that's how his wives had to be because they had to listen to him all the time. So eventually you have to just tune it out and go, oh yeah, words. Tell me when there's something important and I'll tune back in. And I'm not that way. I'm like hyper focused all the time. So I'm like, what do you mean? The rose garden of what? Why we? No, stop. All right. Yeah, I don't read a lot of poetry, clearly. Raiders Ma, thank you for the super chat. What's it say here? Suki said on an interview that they are scheduled on different days so that they never cross. But I can definitely see Cody taking Mary to dinner during filming. Oh, yeah, I could too. I wonder if that changed. Since they do all kind of talk to each other now and they rented that huge house. Because I could see in a studio that it would be like, here are the changing rooms and everybody walks down the same hallways, kind of how it is if you watch a reunion from Real Housewives. In those studios that they film them in, you walk down these really skinny, narrow hallways where it's just like door, and each person would have their own room. Whereas here in this palatial estate, if you will, that clearly looks like it has multiple wings, I think they could keep them apart. So I wonder if this time they did it different and they had them all there instead of different days. And they did say something that they were going to do it all on one day too, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen that way. But it's a good question. It's a good question to figure out for sure. Where could we get the actual answer for that? It doesn't seem like McKelty really talks to her mom at all anymore, because she would be one that you could ask questions to, but she's always like, I don't know, I haven't talked to her. I only talk to her once a week, and we talk about the kids, and she doesn't seem to know much about. She didn't know that Christine wrote a book. I mean, it's pretty significant. It is a major, significant amount of time that somebody takes and invests in. And for Christine to never mention it to McKelty. And she did not know that Christine sued Cody for child support either. Those are all things that were told to her in her live streams. And then she went on her phone and she looked it up. And she's like, oh. Like the book thing, she just dismissed it first. She goes, no, she's writing a book like I'm writing a book. You know how I've been saying I've been writing a book, but I haven't written a page? And that's what my mom's been saying. She's writing a book forever. And they're like, no, here's the link to the Amazon. She's like, oh my, I think it was a Target actually. Somebody sent the Target link to pre-order it. And she's like, what? I have to call her. So then that's when she was explaining that, well, we talk once a week, but we, and I get it. They talk about the kids. But I mean, it's kind of a significant thing. All right. Something that takes that amount of time. All right. Well, and then the suing thing too. Like that's a significant thing too. Okay. Candace wants to know how Robin's not embarrassed and mortified by his behavior. I mean, she has to be. I think the whole acting is not acting like she's in love as much as just like acting like she accepts him. I don't believe any of it. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, Christine, I mean, the fact that we have gone 15 years and not once asked one question about Rob, I'm more interested in David, her ex-husband, the father of her children. How can that never come up? They could ask questions in a way that does not throw him under the bus at all. That actually makes him look really good. But they don't. And then the bio dad, and then that's a good follow-up question too. She keeps saying that his kids are going to need him, but she doesn't see that her kids need their bio dad. And their siblings. Like, he's got a lot of kids. Those are their brothers and sisters that she's keeping them away from. And that now they're keeping themselves away from because they've been brainwashed all this time into their 20s. So now, they're not going to cross mommy and go see him. I'm trying to think what was the other topic that came up at the end that I wanted to make sure I touched on. Mama Squirrel thinks he went to college just for the tryst. He didn't take any classes. Well, he certainly didn't stay very long. I don't think he lasted longer than a semester. So it's very possible. Twyla, oh, this is an interesting. I didn't even know how to handle this. I didn't realize this till I was recording the video about this one too. All right, Twyla says that Moo Cow, also known as, I didn't write it down yet, AKA Sacred Herpes Heifer, has done everything possible from day one to erase Christine and push her out of Cody's life. There was a soulmate comment. Yep. The kids. Yep. The picture. Yep. the lightning bolt story. Now that's interesting. I didn't even think of this when I was recording the video. All of a sudden I got a new perspective on it. Okay, so I'm recording the video and I am extra shocked. I was shocked when I first saw her talking about it, but when I'm recording the video and watching it again, I didn't realize just how much Christine kept saying, that's my story. That's my story. That's crazy that she's saying that because everybody knows that the lightning bolt thing was my story. And I was feeling bad for Christine watching it, going, Christine, no, it's her. She's like, I don't know why she's saying that. This is the first time I've heard it. She doesn't share the story with us. It's the first time that I've heard it. And so I'm thinking, oh, you poor thing, Christine. Her memory's going too. Because the story's in the book. Robin wrote it as her lightning bolt story in the book. I'm wondering now, is it possible? Because Christine said everybody knew about the lightning bolt story. Everyone knew about the electric connection that I felt in church that day when I first saw him. Now, it would kind of explain if Robin caught wind of this, like, oh, tell me about their families and all that. Like, well, this is what we know about Christine. And oh, when she first met him, everybody knows, blah, blah, blah. And then she can go and swoop in and adopt that story and then have this lightning bolt story that she can share. Except that Christine would have read the book. It seems clear, and I believe McKelty confirmed this on her Patreon when she was doing the read through of the book. She said that each of the wives wrote their section. So it would be like, okay, write your chapter on matrimony, write your chapter on family, write your chapter on falling in love, whatever the different topics were. So they all wrote their chapters. They were put together and then they were all shared with each other. So everybody got an opportunity to read what everybody else said in their chapters. Then they went back to their original chapter and they could tweak it. So if Mary read a story that involved her that Christine was sharing in hers, and Mary did not like the angle that Christine took, and she felt like it was making her look bad, Mary could now add that story from her perspective into her chapter. So that would mean that clearly Christine read this before. So then I go back to, is she just losing her mind? I mean, I am. But it just seems like a significant thing to lose your mind about. It seems like, the things we remember in life are the things that we have an emotional connection to, right? And if indeed Christine really had this incredible light bulb moment, and then all of a sudden she would hear Robin tell the exact same story, I would have a visceral reaction to that. Like, what? You can't take my story. That's my story. That's what happened to me. I mean, I guess she could say that's how it happened to me too. But as Christine, I would say, could you not share that, please? Because I've been telling everybody that story. I won't put it in the book, but everybody kind of knows that's my story. So now it's kind of hurtful that you would use the exact same words. And can you just not mention that part of meeting him, maybe? Or not say at least it was this crazy connection with a lightning bolt moment. That's how it would go down for me. And that's where I get confused. Because I'm sitting here watching Christine go on and on and on about how she had no idea, never heard this story before. But it's in the book. I don't know what else to say. Meanwhile, I'm slamming I am slamming Suki right and left as I'm doing my review about the fact that she clearly never read the book. How can you be the host year after year after year about this family and not take the time one weekend to just sit? You don't even need a weekend, a day. You don't even need a full day. It's an easy read. Read the book. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know what to think about that. It caught me off guard. And I just thought, is Christine losing her mind? Is Christine, which is really funny because she made that comment about Cody. It's too bad he's losing his mind when he said he couldn't remember something. It was pretty funny. I don't think I commented on that in my video, but it was funny. I don't know. But I'm like, now I'm like, I'm a verklempt. Stuck. I've got nothing to say because I'm very confused how Christine did not know about this. Very confused. Now, here's a good question. Which is the bigger lie? The book or the 19 seasons of the show? All right, I'll put it up, Joni. We'll do it right now. This is after time. This is after hours poll time. Here we go. All right, we're ending the poll. It's basically stayed the same. 57% said no, she wouldn't have changed and said she wants it. And 43 said yes, they think she would. Okay, that's a lot of over 300 people in that poll. Okay, so we're going to do the next one. And this is, which is the biggest lie? If you guys haven't read the book, I have gone through it. You can go to the playlist. I have all of the chapters in the playlist called Cloak of Charity. That was our Cloak of Charity club. Also, I watched it with James. So there's a discussion. It's not like going through the book, but we go chapter by chapter and had a night where we just talked about everything that was in that chapter. So there's 2 opportunities to see everything that's in this book on my website. Okay, not my website, on my YouTube page. Okay. Which is the biggest lie? The book? I'll just put which is the biggest lie ? And then the two answers are the Sister Wives book, the 19 seasons of Sister Wives. Okay. I didn't capitalize Sister Wives and book, and then that bothered me. Poll is started. All right. Which has the bigger lie? That's a good question. Because I feel like most of the lies are gone now. It was heavily lied upon at the beginning, but there's 19 seasons of that. This was just one snapshot, kind of like between seasons 2 and 3, maybe, or around season 2 or 3 it came out. Well, I can't remember exactly, but it was 2012, maybe. Yeah, 2012 it came out. And they probably finished writing it a year before it actually got published, would be my guess. Kathy's been a member for 9 months. Yay, Kathy. Cody, you have some splaining to do. Yeah, a lot. But the edge goes to the book. Yeah, okay. All right, because reactions don't lie. So you know the truth there, whereas the book, it's just a hot mess of a book. Boy, they wrote it in such a way, too, that it's incredibly confusing. They don't put timelines. They don't put dates. The book is written based in themes. So you could be reading about one event, and then the next chapter, that person is writing about something that happened 5 years earlier. It's a hot mess of a book, but it's brilliant if you are trying to hide a bunch of stuff because you really can't follow what's going on. I have lots of notes all over the book. I am trying to write whenever there was a date or in January or February, and then I try to figure out what they're talking about, where they were at the time, and futile. No reason. Oh, goodness. All right. I think after this, Christine and Janelle are going to be closer than ever. I think that Janelle and Mary are going to get closer. but not necessarily based on these talk back things. I think that Mary might go on a little bit of an apology tour to her, to Janelle. And I think that Mary is not going to be as nice to Robin and Cody as what we saw in the one-on-one. So I think relationships are going to change a lot. But we're still more than a year behind. Right? The funeral, yes, the funeral was a year ago, March. A year ago, March, and that's what it ended on. So when we come back, it'll be August at best. It started in September this year. If it's August, that's 5 months. 17 months. That's a year and 5 months. That's kind of where we were before. They didn't do a whole lot of catching up. It sure seemed like they were doing a lot of catching up at the beginning. Why did we take that 6 weeks off? Why could we not have just had episodes in there, done the Garrison, maybe took a week off, done the Garrison's 4 episodes, excuse me, and then gone back and did another month of life after? Unless they put cameras down. I know they kept cameras rolling throughout the whole funeral and all that, but maybe after the funeral, they put cameras down for a long time. So maybe we won't have that much to catch up on, because maybe it'll start just a year behind. Like maybe they put the cameras down after March and didn't pick them back up until August or September. That's a possibility. That's true, Julie. It's possible she didn't mention it because she wasn't going to mention it. She may have thought it inappropriate. Sorry, it's going down the wrong hole. But then she would have read Robin's. So in this tell-all, she's saying, I didn't know that story. I've never heard that before. That's where I'm like, what? I think she just forgot. I just find it shocking that she could forget something that to me would have been so significant. But maybe it wasn't that significant to her. Because she didn't seem that bothered by it now. She's laughing. Ah, look at this. She even's like whacking her leg. Ah, that's my story too. Wouldn't you know? Isn't that crazy? Of course, she's well moved on and she's completely over Cody. And, Robin is a nothing to her. She's deeply in love with David. So this kind of stuff wouldn't bother her anymore. But maybe, I don't know, maybe when she left Cody, she also just turned off a part of her brain of like anything that's not necessary related to Cody that I have to think about, turning it off. And Robin too. Who was it that pointed out? I think it was actually a comment on the video where somebody said, isn't it interesting that Christine still has Truly go over to Cody and Robin's house? She sees to it that even Robin is still invested in sees Truly, not just Cody, that continues. And, the kids over there see Truly in that. But Robin doesn't have her kids do anything with Christine. Cut her off. And according to Christine, back a year ago, December, so a year and a half ago, when she was doing the episodes of the wedding, she said that she reached out to Robin's kids and didn't hear back. Now, it wasn't an invitation reach out. It was a reach out, like, let's talk. Because she said, I don't think this wedding is the best place to have a reunion. And I completely agree. But yeah, that like what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. Like Robin, she won't share her kids with the rest of the parents. But she'll blame them that the relationships are broken down. Just to be clear. Oh. Okay. He is such a liar, Scarlett says. He needs to stick to one story about when he saw her, right? Was it in church? Was it at a dance? Did you meet her in a back alley? You know what I think? I think it was before all of this. I think the fact that she came up, visited her cousin, and her cousin took her to church that Sunday was so that Robin would meet Cody. I think the whole thing was a setup. Maybe, I mean, it's possible that Cody wasn't in on it at the very beginning, that she thought, well, let me just see if she even seems interested in him. I don't know. People had phones back then, didn't they? Wasn't that long ago. She could have sent a photo. But I just feel like there was communication that happened ahead of time, and these situations now were all set up. And set up for Mary to think that she was actively involved in the process, because he knew that Mary would be hurt terribly and probably not agree to this. So it would have to be Mary's idea. And I don't know if we'll ever get the truth on that. Only if Reba starts singing, the cousin. She gets in a big fight with Robin. And she's like, let me tell you how it really went down. Because also, Reba in the book, there's a story about Reba calling Robin. Robin tells the story. Reba called her and said, oh, what did you think about Cody? And this was after the dance, I believe. And she's like, I don't know. I don't know if he likes me. You know, all that stupid. We're all acting like we're in middle school kind of stuff. No, I really could tell. I really think he did. And I asked him what he thought, and he seems to dig you. She's like, oh, really? And then Reba made reference to the fact that big things are coming for that family. So she knew about the show ahead of time. And I think this whole setup was to get it all going before the show. I think Reba did her a solid. My understanding is AUB community is small enough that everybody in St. George would have known about this potential show that was in the works ahead of time. So it is possible that she found out about it, Robin found out about it, back down in St. George and thought, I'm getting in on this. He's not bad looking. I can do that. I'm going up there. I can win out with my wildly crazy behavior and get him to fall in love with me, because she's thinking I am way better than those 3 wives. I'm not fat with stretch marks like they are. Her words in a previous tell-all, not mine, because I'd fit in that category. Okay, people. Will the truth ever come out about all of this? Probably not. But possibly, maybe, somebody can send the book. Puddlemonkey, maybe? Can you send the book to the person that you're having do the interview at the end? Have her read it, so that there can be some questions that come back. Well, that's interesting, because in the book, what you wrote was, can you explain how that could happen and what you just said could happen at the same time? So great. I would love it. Okay. Mystery Sister Wives Theater. Oh, speaking of which, Mama Squirrel, make sure you put your Sister Wives YouTube address in the chat. Back at our poll, what is the biggest lie, the Sister Wives book or the 19 seasons of Sister Wives? It's pretty much a landslide. 73% believe the show is the biggest lie. 27% say the book. Yeah, usually they're a lot closer, our polls. Yeah, people just think the show is full of hooey. And it is full of hooey, isn't it? There's not a whole lot of truth coming out of this show. It really isn't. No way. All right. I'm going to read Mama Squirrel. I have a comment from you that I have saved here. I'm just clicking on random ones. Okay, this is funny too, Huckleberry, especially because was this related to, because Robin said how she doesn't track. Oh, I'm not tracking that. She said it again in the 4th episode. She said it earlier, and Huckleberry had a response that said, Robin doesn't track anything apparently. She just wanders through life without a thought in that shy little head of hers. Poor girl. And then Mama Squirrel had a comment on the episode that the thumbnail is the snake in the grass coming up where Cody baptized his daughter. And she wrote, when Aurora was baptized, Cody whispered in her ear, quote, I have great pecs, a 6-pack abs, and there's a washboard in there somewhere. End quote. Oh my God, that'd be so funny. Could you imagine? I've got great 6-pack abs. Let God know when you get up there, because I don't think I have a chance. Tell him thank you for him. Okay, everybody. This was a lot of fun. Sister friends are the best friends. I'm going to sign off. There we go. Very good. Okay. Until next week. Next week, season 2. I'm not sure what episode it is, but whatever the next one is, I'll have a thumbnail for it. Is that the way? Yeah, no, I can still do Tuesdays. I am going out of town for a week, but I will be leaving on Wednesday and coming back on Monday. So it doesn't affect us. Doesn't affect us at all. It affects my Sunday night people, but it doesn't affect Tuesdays. So good night, everybody. Mwah. I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great week. Take care. Goodbye. Adios. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
I remember when Sonny and Cher got divorced when I was 6, and it rattled me.
I had a lover in college, and it was a little tryst. I was a naughty boy. I had a dirty thought, and I thought David and I should go on a guys trip together.
I might have to agree. That would be cool.
I just thought, no.
David out on a guy's weekend.
Yeah, that's just, it would be cool.
Oh, he was kind of up for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Things that make you go,